Good evening, all. Good evening. Good evening. Hello. Yes, you're quite right. I'm sat here on my own. That's because Gary's only just got home and he's just stuffing his food to eat. So to whatever. And he's probably going to join us in a minute. So you've got me for the moment, and I have a cold. Can you tell? Can you tell how bunged up I sound? I'm all right now, but the whole weekend I felt shocking. But I'm okay now. I'm all right, but I just sound a bit bunged up. So, top of the shop is Pia. Evening all, says Pia. Evening all. Melanie's here. Hello, Melanie. So excited for the live today. Hello, everyone. Hello. Dawn's here. Good evening, everyone. Vicky's here. Good morning. Good morning. Connie's here. Hello, everyone. Excuse me. I'll be doing a fair bit of that as I chat along. Jenny Cox is here. Good morning from Australia. You guys, Australia and New Zealand, I am just about to launch the booking. And it's first come, first served. So we're going to be in Christchurch in New Zealand, or near Christchurch in New Zealand, South Island. Then we're going to be in Kumeu. I don't know if I said that right. In West Auckland, North Island, the second weekend. So that's the first weekend of March which is the last day of February, first 2 days of March in Christchurch, near Christchurch, Bex Nairn's new place, I think. And then we're at, well, I say I think because they've just got their new place, haven't they? As in their new workshop place. Then we've got in West Auckland, that's the second weekend in March. Then we're over near Melbourne, Sudbury, and we're doing 2 dates there, so 2 weekends. And the reason for that is because it's close to a place, well, close-ish to a place where we've got cadaver legs, where we can get hold of them. So Sunbury, I think is just west of Melbourne. And we're just near there, and that's the second and the third weekend in March, and it's first come first serve. It's not that far from Melbourne Airport, folks, so if you want to fly in, that shouldn't be too difficult. But we are completely limited to numbers this time. So usually we can be a little bit flexible in the UK because we can get more legs as we go along, but we won't be able to be flexible in Australia and New Zealand. We have the set amount of legs and that's it. So we will have a set amount of people. Anyway, that's for everybody in New Zealand and Australia. So that's happening tomorrow. And I've got 2 options. You can either pay in full or you can pay a deposit of 50%, which is non-refundable. And you will need to pay the balance at least 8 weeks. The cutoff will be 8 weeks, 2 months before the event. Right. But all of that will be released tomorrow. And we're only giving it out to the Phoenix Warriors first. So the first little while, we're giving it to you guys, and we'll see how that works. And if you start filling it up, if you don't fill it up, then we'll send it out publicly. So there you go. And America, yours booking form will be out in a couple of months because we don't need to do that just yet. All right, where was I? Ramona's here. Hello, Ramona. Good to see you. Hello, everyone from Spain. Aston's here. Hi, lovely people. Hello, Aston. Maggie Thrussell's here. Hello, all. Heather Swithenbank's here. Hi, from all very wet East Midlands. Been chucking it down here today as well, Heather. Good morn from Royals Rehab Centre for Equine Healing in New Zealand. Good morn, Joe. Hope to see you at the workshop. Zoe Auckland, good evening from Denmark. Have we met before? I don't know if I know that name. Auckland. Am I saying it right? I don't know if I'm saying it right. Good evening. Good evening, Zoe. We're glad to have you with us. Janet Welsh is here. Good evening from Spain. Meta's here. Evening all. Also from Denmark. Zoe, meet Meta. Dawn Lim says, my vet has suggested shoeing all round, at least temporarily, until I sort out the vertical toe crack, and shoeing behind to offer support to his feet and hocks to help uneven loading through the hock joints. He has significant hock arthritis in both hocks. it won't help. In fact, it will make matters worse because you're going to bugger up his natural wear patterns and his natural feet. And I can tell you this absolutely 100%, the person who will be shoeing will not be trimming to his natural parameters. And how on earth is that going to help the hocks? And how on earth is that going to stop the crack? You see, they don't know any different. So that's all they have to default to. My strong advice to you, Dawn, is and just trust your horse to tell you what feet he needs for the problem that he has. Okay, Tracy's here. Hi, Tracy. Good to see you. Annie Hogan's here. Hi, everyone. Joe says, Dawn, how many vets have knowledge from experience and not just from their training? Don't do it. No, exactly. Right. Leah's here. Good morning, everyone. You'll be coming along as well, Leah, won't you, to the New Zealand clinic, because we'll be doing extra stuff with you, Leah. Dawn Lim says, don't worry, I will never shoe a horse again. Good girl, good girl. I just have to get my trimming spot on. You will get your trimming spot on because we'll help you. Joe says, go Dawn, awesome. You'll show the vets what's right for you. Right, what's right. Go you. Noel Brown's here. Hello, everyone. I'm finally back on alive. Yay! It's been a couple of weeks since I've been able to get on. It's great to see you again. Jeanette Desire is here. Hi, everyone. Bonsoir from France, northern France. Thank goodness for HM and this amazing group, Joe. You're right. Aaron Brown. Hello, Aaron. Am I seeing you tomorrow? I think I am. Good evening, all, from a very wet and soggy Northern Ireland. Are you Irish? Because I'm terrible. I pick up accents like there's no tomorrow. I'll be trying to mimic you. I promise I won't be being rude. Angela Garberg's here. Bonsoir, evening all, from southern France. Vivian Patterson's here. Hi all. Haven't been on a live for a while. No, you haven't. It's good to see you. Are you driving on your way to your horse, or are you just listening in? No activities with your hands. I noticed you put up some good comments today, whether it was today or the last couple of days. Thank you, Vivian. It's always welcome. Anita Pepper's here. Good day, warriors. Good day. Sarah Lou's here. Hi, all. Hi, all, Sarah. Vivian Ulrich's here. Hello, everyone from Germany. Have you finished having your dinner? Are you dinner free now? Are you just finishing your dinner? I have just finished mine. Gary's still eating. Dawn Jackson's here. Hi, everyone. Oh, we've got lots this evening. How lovely. Laura Shillham is here. Hi. Joe says, yeah, might come to workshop. I'll see. Nah, kidding. I'll so be there, and a few clients are coming too. Brilliant. Zoe Auckland, I have been listening before. Always interesting stuff. Thank you, Zoe. How kind of you, from Denmark. Leah says, I'll be there. I'll be there. Aaron says, lol, great impersonation, but it was a southern accent you nailed. Yes, see you tomorrow. Yes, it's harsher, isn't it? Is it the northern accent? It's a little bit more edgy, isn't it, I think? I don't know what I'm talking about. Just ignore me. I'll see you tomorrow. Nikki's here. Evening, Nikki. Evening. Vivian says, can't get audio. All right. Never mind. You can watch it back. Hello from Ohio, says Erin. And Ingrid's here. Hello, everyone, says Ingrid. Well, okay. So I've got a couple of things I want to tell you this evening. We're going to go through some posts on the Phoenix group because I think that's because I've not been in there much recently. So I think if we go through them, that will help. Because I've put a couple of things in my Canva that we can talk about. And also, I want to talk to you about the fact that we are very close to the 10K mark, which means I keep my promise. I am going to produce we have produced some 10K merch, which makes it a limited edition. And there are only going to be a limited amount that we're going to sell. So again, first come, first served. They're going to be slightly different because it's not going to be in black, because everything usually is in black. black. So we're going to all the VIP Hoofers and all of that is going to be in black. Going to be kind of a maroon color, and I might change that color on each 10K. Who knows? But then you'll soon know. And you see, if you buy them this time, you know, your 10K, because you've been here and you're like, yes, I was there right at the beginning when they reached their first 10K. So I'm going to show you a couple of t-shirts that we've got for that 10K and a mug. And I think we're going to do a cap. And if you want anything else, let me know, like a water bottle or a tote bag. Let me know what you'd like. Yes, I know. It's incredible, incredible, incredible. Becky's here. Becky Bragg. Hi from a soggy Cornwall. Oh, started again, isn't it? Monica's here. Hello, Monica from Czech. Aaron says 10K. Wow, I know. Right? It's cool. That's amazing. Whoop, whoop. Oh, I think I've just heard a little whoop, whoop. And it's Garry. Here he is. Yay! There he is.
Hello.
Oh, it's good to see you.
Yes, you too. It seems like it's been ages. We've been like ships passing in the night. We haven't seen each other for weeks.
Did you say P there? When you did say a P in that, didn't you?
What?
Ships. There's a P in there.
There was definitely a P in there. Yes.
So I've just gone through all the welcomes, and
I know I've been listening.
Oh, well, you were listening, so I don't need to repeat that. How are you then, Garry? What's been going on in your life?
Well, and I have to say, feeling quite thrilled because I'm wide awake still after trimming 16 horses on the edge of a hurricane. So wet, windy. The horses were amazing. The people were amazing. And quite frankly, so was I.
Were you on the cover?
Most of it.
Oh,
so that was, I was lucky.
Very good. Yes, there's our job's great, isn't it? Because you're outside all the time, you're out working, you go to different places, you're driving along, seeing different countryside, but it's pretty crappy when it's wet and muddy.
I went to see my last client, and I won't say names because just because. And she's got 2 dressage horses and a pony. Okay. And she's had intermittent issues with her dressage horses for years.
Years.
Yes. So let's say, well, for one particular, it's 6 years.
What sort of issues?
Well, just not being able to go, transitioning in from trot to canter, and just not being able to carry the body properly and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
The shoes came off in June. She had some fairly shoddy hoof care advice until I turned up 6 weeks ago. So I trimmed.
Oh, so the shoes came off and you weren't there. You didn't take the shoes off.
I wasn't there for that. But she was going down the barefoot route and also following our page as well. In the latter couple of months, I went to see her only 6 weeks ago. So this is my second visit. And both of her dressage horses are moving better. The saddle fitter's been, and the back has raised up by over an inch naturally. The feet look shocking because they were up and chopped off, and she is absolutely thrilled.
Did you? That's wonderful news. That really is. That is great news, Garry. Well done.
This is brilliant, isn't it?
It is brilliant. And did you see today? Sometimes we have days, don't we, where people just want to say, "This was my horse," you know. Because I think I've poked them all a bit and gone, because I said we want lots of videos.
Yeah, I saw that.
We want videos of your horses before the Phoenix Way. If mostly the ones where they really are struggling to walk. Now, the reason I ask for that, and I said it in the post, is because a horse walking that is crippled by hoof care walks quite differently and has a completely different demeanor to a horse that's sick.
Yes.
With systemic laminitis. So horses that are crippled with incorrect hoof care, where they have got inflammation in their feet, there's no doubt about it, but P3 is in the wrong position, their hoof capsules are in the wrong position, they walk in a very specific way. And what we want to try and show the world is that we've got to stop every time we see a horse lame, not lame on one foot where they've got an abscess or they've, or for whatever the other reason, but lame when they are properly bilaterally lame on usually their fronts, but sometimes their backs too.
Yeah.
That there is a difference, and we've got to stop labeling these horses as laminitic. They have got laminitis in the fact that they have inflammation in the lamina, but this is all caused because of incorrect hoof care. And the more that we recognize that, and the more vets begin to recognize that, instead of just going, oh no, it must just be laminitis, you get them in, put them in a soft bed. No, it's urgent to have the immediate hoof care. And unfortunately, and this is where the big change has to come, is the immediate hoof care isn't chopping the toe off, because they think that's what's stretching the laminae, and wedging or sticking in heart bar shoes, etc. So I thought, Garry, if we can try and gather as many videos as possible. So I asked for that today. I did.
And now we've been inundated.
and people have been putting up videos. It's so lovely, because they go, look, this is what it was 10 months ago or whatever, when I found the Phoenix Way. We're going to see some. We'll go into the Phoenix group and we'll see some in a minute. But when I found the Phoenix Way, and look at my horses now, and that little pony that was trotting behind a quad or something, going, yes, look at me. It's just great.
And also it shows that all people around the world can have an influence on their ponies or horses being much better.
Oh yeah.
And let's face it, for people to see it, they've got to be in the group.
And they have.
So the people that aren't playing nicely, not to put a negative on it, play nicely, otherwise you're going to miss out.
I know. And
that's sad, because we don't want anybody to miss out, because
no, but unfortunately, no. And the thing is, we get an awful lot of bad press.
Oh yes.
Full stop. I just put a full stop there. But I was gonna say, we get an awful lot of bad press because people have come into the group. They don't want to follow us really and what we're talking about. They don't like it because they've been doing something else, or they've been chopping off toes, or they just don't understand. And then they start getting trying to start a debate, perhaps, or just start talking about why don't you do other trims, why can't you open your mind, and all of that stuff. And then we go, out you go. And unfortunately, well, fortunately for them, unfortunately for us, they get out onto the big wide internet and they say, oh yeah, they just don't want to listen. They just don't want to listen. So that's why they kicked me out, right? Because obviously what I was saying was true, and they couldn't stomach it, so they kicked me out. That's not what we're doing at all, is it, Garry?
No, it's got to. The Phoenix Way has got to be a safe space for people that want help and want to listen.
Yeah.
And what people and in recent weeks, the people that are jumping up and down the most are the people that aren't seeing, because they're not in it. If you're not in it, you can't win it.
No. And isn't it interesting how the people who aren't in it say, well, I've never seen any of their case studies. I don't see any of it. Like, nearly 10,000 people in this group, and it's growing.
Yep.
And it's full of people going, look what I've done. Look at this. It's amazing. And yet we'll have some people who are saying, well, there's so many different ways to skin a cat. No. Because if you take it away from what nature's doing, and we're going to have a good example of this in a minute, then you are in danger, or what nature's showing us, you are in danger of doing the wrong thing to the hoof. Don't do it, because you're taking that horse along a very precarious cliff edge. And there's no point. But what we are doing is we are proving to the world, because it was constant, wasn't it? It still is, but it was big news a few years ago with, you must chop the toes off because of the tearing of the laminine. And we're like, watch. Oh, look, he's cantering and bucking and running. Oh, so that's not what's happening then. But it must be. Well, it isn't, is it? Because you can see it with your own very eyes. So it is unfortunate for us that people that we do actually have to flick people out of the group, because we're trying to protect our Phoenix warriors, our Phoenix group. If we start letting in debate and conversation about other trim methods, what will it do?
It will just cause confusion.
Oh, God.
And there's enough confusion in the world already.
There's enough Facebook groups that do that already. And frankly,
Exactly.
if you want to be part of that, then trot on over to those Facebook groups that you put a post and you'll have 40 different answers. And we don't do that. We don't do that in our little world.
No, we don't. It's got to be a safe space for people that are wanting to work much more towards nature and can have an adult conversation.
Yeah.
Adult conversation is allowed. But that to get things to question things, because if you don't question, how are you going to learn? But then you've got to be able to have an open mind to have those answers and maybe go away and do a bit of research. Saying that, there's quite a lot of bad research out there.
Well, it's just not. It's just. It doesn't mean anything when you have. If you're studying hooves, and you're studying anything to do with hooves, then you better have researchers who know an awful lot about what the horse's natural foot is. And unfortunately,
there ain't any.
No. So what they're doing is they're studying the foot in front of them that could have been trimmed by any old Tom, Dick and Harry. And those have their own little styles. As we know, PPT is rife. Well, that's completely made your piece of research null and void. Oh, no, it hasn't. Yes, it has. Because you couldn't replicate that if you tried. You couldn't, unless you've got the same person who's doing the same PPT. But that's not what happens. So a bunch of researchers will jump on a particular thing and they'll go and do it halfway across the world with their own PPT person. Yeah. And the problem is then that's not replicable, is it? Because if you are doing it to Mother Nature's foot, if you're trimming to Mother Nature's constants, then that's repeatable. That's replica. It doesn't matter. That's what's so great about our school, our international school, because it doesn't matter where you are in the world. You, as soon as you know and you're familiar and you're used to trimming to Mother Nature's blueprint, you know, the guidelines of the trim and which everybody's quite sweetly calling the Phoenix Way now, or the Phoenix trim. Once you're used to that and you understand that, you can pick up any foot and never be confused again. You can pick up a foot and not go, I wonder. I don't know. I think I just want to leave heels bit higher today. Therefore, the bars have to be higher. Why would you do that? And I just need to take a bit of toe off because I think that stretches or is possibly going to stretch. So I'm going to remove some toe. And we have, I don't know how many photographs of feet where they've had the toe removed and they look different on both feet. And we got different heights for the heels. Because one, you can't remember what you did on the other foot. Two, it's very difficult to replicate. And three, you're already distorting the feet differently. And the more you do that, the more out of whack they both become with each other. So we will not allow people to come in and have a discussion about other trim methods, because they are methods. And what we're doing, what we try and say to people all the time, it's not a method. Somebody said to me the other day, oh, it's not new, trimming like that isn't new. Well, it might not be new, but it's go looking for it. You can't find it because nobody does it, because everybody has to meddle and chase pathology. Stop it. It might look ugly, it might not look right, but it's okay, because it's all going to come right in the end. Shall we read some of the comments? Caroline's here. Hello from Portugal. Meta's like 10k. Oh yes. Nikki says, one of my clients has told the vet that his way of keeping the toe short is not helping the horse, was still deteriorating, and is going to allow the toe to grow out. Vet was not happy. No, not so happy, chappy. Might have been a lady. Horse is improving and now offering trot out on her in-hand walks. We are documenting it all. Well done. But as we've been, not that I want to stop you from documenting it, please do, every last inch of it. But you know what will happen? You'll show it to them and they'll just go, well, it won't mean anything to them. But the Phoenix group gradually will mean something to them. And you must just keep on, keep on, keep on, keep on. Well done, Nikki. I think I know who the client is as well. Are you going to say something, Garry? You breathe. You went, no. Okay. Sarah says, but people also follow for a few minutes and quit and say it didn't work for them, just wanting a quick fix to a major term problem. I haven't read that many people saying that. What tends to happen is what I do read is they'll say, oh, I was doing it the Phoenix way and it didn't suit my horse. In fact, we had one of those not that long ago. And it's just a silly statement if you know what we're doing, if you know what we're actually doing. It just goes to show you don't know. Oh, it must be the trim, the reason that the horse isn't getting better. It's impossible, because you're trimming to the horse's natural constants. If you're starting with a shitty foot anyway, and you're starting with a very compromised hoof, then it's going to take time. And if you don't get the diet and the management side of it right, we can do the best trim in the world. The horse's foot will still have problems, because it's a 3-pronged attack, remember. But yeah, they just but that is exactly why it's been going round. Pathology just keeps going round and round and round and round and round, but it never ends. People keep chasing from one to the other. I'll try a bit of this time. Oh, I've got to try that method this time. That didn't work. Don't do it right from the offset, never getting it right, which is why we've got the challenges, of course. We have the challenges so that people can see the flow of it and understand what we mean when we talk about the Phoenix way. Ingrid says, well, we've done 8 years of the other way and ended up with an irreversible problem. Never going back to that. Just saying no, dear Sally. This group feels like family and friends, safe and approachable. It's because we are.
And we want it to stay that way.
It has to stay that way.
It's got to stay that way. Can you imagine Lindsay and I and all of our pros, and not to mention our amazing admin team, can you imagine trying to manage this mammoth page with all of that conflicting advice and information? It would be totally unmanageable. So it ain't going to happen.
No.
It ain't going to happen.
We've all got to stay
we won't
safe.
allow it. We've got to stick together.
Yeah.
But we come on the journey and by all means ask questions, but let's be adult about it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, some of the things you read, it is
yes, it's not adult at all. It's playground stuff.
No, it's playground stuff. Aaron says, since joining, I've unjoined so many hoof-related pages on Facebook I was following. So many lost, confused owners, and the advice and hoof care given total head melt. I know. And I won't go into those groups. Garry does occasionally, but I don't. In fact, and I don't think Garry does so much nowadays because we're so busy with the Phoenix. I haven't got any time. So busy with the Phoenix group. But that's not what you want to hear. And it's not like you're shopping for the latest, best trim. Oh, let's go shopping for that one. Oh, that looks good. There's a few trims in the window there. I'll go to different shops and that trim looks cool. I like that. Look at the foot. Ooh, I might try a little bit of that today. No, it's not what you should be doing. It's not about us. It's about the horse, and you have to respect the horse. And it's so damn simple, but it takes seconds for a hoof care professional to take a bit of toe off or leave a bit too much heel. Incorrect hoof care is so bad, and it's so everywhere, as you know. I don't even need to go on about that because you know. Lisa says, on the flip side of that, there are also groups out there that will not let you mention your group. I know. I know. Why can they dictate what is recommended in their group, but you can't for your group? Well, there you go. That's right. That's it. You've been banned now if you mention, and you hear people say it. They say it all the time. Those Phoenix people, they're always out there saying that. Okay, it's all right. Fine. The group will speak for itself. It already is doing. You know, we are nearly at 10,000 members, just about, and we're ahead of the months. So we've not even gone 10 full months, and we're 10,000 members. You know, it speaks for itself. And if you've got banned or you've got blocked, and you're watching this on YouTube, then come back. Come back. Message us privately and say, I'm really sorry. I'd love to be back in the group, but and I promise I won't cause dissent. That's all you have to say. Something like that, along those lines. We might let you back in if I'm having a good day. Sarah says, I'm 10 months in and still each month I see changes, all for the better. All 3 of mine are progressing along a healthy detox path. Can't imagine where we will be in 3 to 4 years. I'm documenting Millie's sweet itch and Hamish's CPL2. This way is so much more than laminitis rehab and long toes. Of course it is. And
it's about keeping the whole horse healthy. This isn't just about fixing and rehabbing. This is how to keep horses healthy. Don't wait for there to be a problem.
No.
You can be proactive with the Phoenix way. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's 100%. The advice. Let's don't have the problems. Let's stop them from even turning up.
Yeah, completely. Laurie Nicola says, my farrier did not... Do we know you, Laurie?
Hi, Laurie.
My farrier did not agree with this method, so I took over myself, and my horse is getting better and better. Went from not being able to walk to now running, bucking and playing. I'm also documenting it. Can I have a video if you've got one? Thank you very much. Wonderful, Laurie. Keep going.
Awesome.
Don't listen to them. Oh, it's Taylor Swift. Hello, late to the party. Well, you've been out singing, probably. That's why. Sarah says, amazing, Laurie, a true warrior. Absolutely. Fiona Francis. Hello, Fiona. No laminitis here, but my horses are doing so well trimmed the Phoenix way. Have had a couple of comments on the longish toes, which mine aren't really all that long, from people I ride with, but guess what? No more toe callus and horses are sound and happy. I've also got the confidence now to push my sister-in-law with her laminitic donkey who is being trimmed improperly, where before I felt I was just guessing. It's all so clear with the Phoenix way. Love that comment. Absolutely love. Look at him. He's...
I haven't got my clacker, so I've got to make it up.
It's great. I love it. Kate Prentice is here. Hi, Kate. Hello. Hello. First live in ages. It is.
See you in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, see you in a couple of weeks. Not long now. Yes, that's the exact comments I read, says Sarah. Didn't work for my horse. Still bad diet and management, though.
Yep.
It's got to be the trim. It can't be. if you've got one of our pros, or if you're following the guidelines correctly, it is so simple. But unfortunately, simple is not enough for some people. And you get thrown off kilter when you have horses that are lame in front of you. And do you know something? I kind of in a way understand that when you've got a very lame horse and owners are sort of almost pleading with whoever to do something, you can see why they call, oh man, it gotta be mine, maybe so lame, because it's every time he walks, he's pulling his toe off. I know what I'll do. I'll take the toe off. Doesn't make any difference. So next time you come, you've already taken the toe off. It's not grown down. You think, well, I'll keep that going just in case. Maybe what I'll do is I'll raise the heels this time. I'll leave the bars because ooh. And it just gets worse. And as the pony gets worse, or the horse gets worse, the equine gets worse. Because we are people who tend to, a lot of horse people are into horses, but they don't know anything about the feet, right? The majority of horse owners don't. And so you can't imagine that what that person's doing could possibly be incorrect, especially if a vet comes and backs them up. But your horse is getting worse. And so everybody's scratching their heads and going, oh my God, what's going on? It's terrible. It's just, and then the vet comes along and x-rays it, sees P3 rotation and goes, it's laminitis. It doesn't matter what the farrier did or whatever advice we gave you, your horse has got laminitis. And if you don't put it in a box, in a deep bed and stop it from moving, P3 is going to come through the bottom of the foot. And all the way along, you've been watching that hoof care changing and your horse getting worse and worse at the hands of people who don't understand the natural foot. And it doesn't matter how many times we go on about this, and we will continue, and eventually the penny will drop and it will sink in. P3 rotation is caused by bad hoof care. No, it can't be. It's laminitis. What? Every single time? No, never. P3 rotation is caused by inappropriate hoof care, incorrect hoof care. How do we know? Because everybody's doing it. And you've only got to show me an x-ray and I can show you, prove it. And I'm going to do that in a moment. Ginger still got her long toes, 7 months now since she was lame with laminitis. Chipped big lumps off her long toes, but she's been sound every day since March. Come on, Dawn.
Awesome, Dawn.
She's losing weight as well, I should imagine. Well done, Dawn. Brilliant. Becky says, yes, absolutely. We have to stick to the Phoenix way, what we are teaching and guiding, and it's the only way. We're not here to debate. We're here to teach and heal. 100%. Melanie says, I got kicked out of a laminitis page because I kept telling them to come to this page because someone's feelings were hurt. And isn't it awful? Because, and it's frustrating for you. I know it is. Because here we are going, just come to this group because you're going to get a ton of advice and it's really going to help. And they go, don't do that. Don't go and listen to them. They're weirdos. There's some what was I called the other day? I've got what the hell is it? What's the disorder? What's the narcissistic disorder? Narcissistic.
Can't remember.
I can't remember. Why it's gone out of my head? Anyway,
that's what in a minute.
I got called by somebody who is an admin of a group and who has told the group if anybody mentions the Phoenix Way, they will get kicked off. And that person called me that said that she can't help herself. She doesn't know what she's talking about. Basically, I'm thick as two short planks. And I've got narcissistic something disorder. Can't remember what it is. I bet somebody will know. Heather Swithenbank says, just want to say I'm on day 8 of the 15-day challenge. It's fantastic, learning so much. Thank you, Heather. That's brilliant. Can't wait to meet you in the 10-day in our group session. That'll be cool. Vanya says, very late to the party. Very, very late to the party.
Okay. Vanya.
Yeah. All right. Should we go and have a look at the group? Because I've got stuff I want to see. Right. Hold on a minute. Where have you gone? Right. Present arms. Here we are. 9.9 thousand members. Right. Okay. That's us. Pointing my big finger. I thought I'd show you this one. If you've probably all seen it anyway. But Catherine, lovely Catherine, she says, the happy herd trimmed the Phoenix Way since May. The paint and the grey horse, Shiloh and Cloud, were the reason I took the challenges. Both laminitic and barely walking. Searching my earlier post, and then she says I've edited it. So if we go down here, we can see this. Oh, hang on a minute.
Hey, bud.
There you go. So this horse, he's not sick, right? Look, he wants to eat, but he can't walk. Every time he puts his feet down, he's like, it's blooming hurts that. Ow, ow, ow. Please stop the pain, right? Here's another one. Here, that was see that nod heading? Head nodding, nod heading. God almighty.
You've been drinking.
It's the cold. I blame it on the cold. So that head nodding is him wanting to go forward because she's trying to encourage you. So she's trying to look away, and then he's going like, I can't. I just want to put my foot down, but I can't. And then when he does, it's like, oh, it hurts. It hurts. Now, were there systemic issues going on with these horses? Well, probably, that were adding to that inflammation. But the real truth was the fact that they were being trimmed incorrectly. Poor horse. He's not sick. Does he look sick to you? No, because he's not. And then we get this. Spot the grey and spot the paint. And some people, guys, suffer with laminitis or suffer with lame horses for months and years and years. Thank God she found it in time, early on, and was able to do something about that. There they are, trotting on the skyline. And then this is quite a nice one as they go trotting along. And they're just walking along. Still a little bit cresty. They're not there yet. There's still a little bit of crest going on. But look at them. Compared to that image you saw earlier, or those videos you saw earlier, they're all keeping up with the herd. And I have no doubt that Catherine is having an influence on the other three as well. So it's just brilliant. Absolutely wonderful. Another fantastic a fantastic thing to say is that Goresworth, Bethan, has just put this up about David, saying that the vet referred us for laminitis rehab. Now, come on. That is brilliant.
That is progress.
That's progress, guys. Look at little David.
It really is.
Such a sweet little Welshie. I mean, that's just brilliant.
And also, is that laminitis systemic? Because he doesn't look typically laminitic, does he?
No. There we go. Oh, hang on. Let me just... So the happy and comfortable, we are almost there. Toes are still long, but she's on the move, pain-free. Thank you, Lindsay Setchell. Dee-dee-dee, dee-dee-dee-dee. I don't mind my long toes. I got pretty toes. Look how good I can move. All those people who said I tear my lamina.
Isn't it?
Eh?
That lamina's tearing with those long toes. It's crippling that pony, isn't it?
It's crippled. It's crippled, and it's rotating P3s. And every time she puts her foot down with that long toe.
How much evidence do people want?
Oh, we haven't got the evidence, apparently, Garry.
We haven't got the evidence, apparently.
No, apparently we've got no.
That's because they've been naughty, and they're not in the group.
Thrown out. Okay, now Patty put 2 posts up here, but she didn't want. She just copied what she said in the first post, but added a bit more. But she didn't want to delete it because she's got comments on both. So remember, Patty's from Uruguay, so her English is really good, but it may not sound. It might just, so I might have to just sort of work out what she's saying. Hi everybody, sorry, another post with more photos. This is right before this one, right? It is a mistake that she put the other one up, but there's comments in both, so I'm going to leave them here. I had cut Sweetie's left fore-hoof toe a little because it was cracking and I was afraid it was going to go up and damage more hoof. I did this with her standing with all 4 hooves on the ground, so I cut a portion which is not touching when standing, just the part it was receiving pressure from the floor and was opening up. I did not trim anything else except heels and quarters. Good girl. A little reminder, she doesn't stand okay on 3 legs. I even fall because she leaned on me. And almost with her in toppled over, I suppose. But she helped as much as she could once she understood I was trying to. Garry, Lizzie? What am I called Lizzie suddenly? Garry, Lindsay, and Vivian. Look, you've been named. Any pro? Did I do it right? I have more photos, but I don't want to put so many. They're almost the same. La la la. My question is it okay to cut to prevent cracking, expanding up, or should I now trim a little more? I leave it at least a little bit tiny. So there she is. There she is. Lovely little girl. That's Sweetie. Okay, so what she's seeing here is this. This isn't attached. Okay, the new hoof is they've been struggling to get to the right heel height a bit, but they're pretty much there now. We've not got any P3 osteonecrosis, not from what I can see from the x-rays. So it's just a case of holding fast and letting this dreadful long toe grow out. Now, you see, the thing is, if you cut it off, and I think she's only done a little bit, but if you try and cut it off, you're just chasing it all the time. And the moment you do that, it looks like you've only cut a little bit off, but that is way off the ground then. And that's going to stop, that's going to interrupt growth rates. And we don't want that to happen. This is a fantastic trim though. I think this is well in advance of this sole, which is why they're able to trim to the sole. But that's a really good trim. There may still be a little bit of heel there, but I think we're okay with that because we've had compaction with Sweetie, because you can see here how much compaction she had. So I think Sweetie's a girl. Sweetums. Why might it be Sweetums? I think it's just Sweetie. So you can see that you've got a little bit of a double tip there. That's because she'll have a little bit of a crenna, but she's also her tip, this part here is poking up a little bit, and she's also, this has gone a little bit flat just here. It shows you that she's not been in prior to this, has been in different positions. It also looks like we've got some side bone here, right? But P3 is not in a dreadful position there particularly. It's just there's too much foot. So now the heels have come down. A lot of this has gone, but now it's got to grow out. And when it comes to this one, you can see how different this one is. But if we look up here, we can see that there's been what looks like some arthritis in that joint. You can see on this one, it's a little bit tiny, little bit fuzzy. This is the fetlock joint. And then you look at this one and you can see standing a little bit differently. Not helped, unfortunately, by this awful hoof. So there's stuff going on here, which is going to give her some pain. Can you see that? The way the cannon bone is located on P1, it's not in alignment. And who knows how long that's been going on. And then you can see this little swelling she's got here at the front. So that's something to bear in mind as we do the rehab. But and then, of course, we've got this negative palmar angle on this front foot. It is a front foot, I think. No, this is a hind foot. A negative palmar angle. And therefore, we've also got what we call a broken back, because P3 is sitting up in front here. And now the trim is better. They've got rid of all of this craziness, which is basically rocking around on this bit here. The heels are back down. She's got a proper purchase now to walk properly on. Gradually, this will grow out. But we're never going to be able to take this away, that situation there. So the answer to that, Patty, is don't chase it. It's not going to go racing up the foot because that bit there is attached. So just hold fast and keep those heels down and let it grow out. That was the second one. And in that one, actually, you can see how much, if you, from back here, you can see it doesn't look so well from the side and the side picture, but you can actually see, can't you, Garry? Straight to that.
That healing angle's coming in quite nicely. So you just got to be patient.
It'll eventually
it will come down and the toes will come back.
Yeah. The longer toe doesn't just keep pulling the foot out. It doesn't work like that.
It doesn't
work like that. And these are the hinds, which were they've still got a little bit of a high heel. So give us more pictures of the hinds, Patty, because I think the hinds might be needing a little. Oh no, I think we might be okay. It's hard to tell when you've got lots of hair here because you kind of need to cut it back a little bit, but yeah, they look ugly. They sure do. But we've got to remember that this pony, you know, is getting her bony column in the right position, and then has got to grow out all of this separation. So don't chase pathology. You don't need to. Oh yeah. This was where Melanie Fenton says this group discussed on a group I follow. So Aging Horsewomen of Australia. It's a great name for a group, isn't it? This is a very interesting. We left this. Normally we wouldn't kind of leave things like that, but we thought, well, it was getting quite a few comments and they were talking about our post, so we thought we'd leave that. Now, this one, Kaylee McDonald. I've taken her x-rays and I've put that into my Canva. So I'm going to show you that in a minute, but let's just talk about, it's a long post, so I'm going to try and whiz through it. Hi, everyone, new to the group and hoping to learn from everyone here. So a month ago, I acquired a lovely 10-year-old quarter horse. The previous owner said he has thin soles and therefore was shod in front. My plan was to do one reset so he could get settled in the herd and then try and transition to barefoot. That plan went south when he lost a shoe the first day. My barefoot trimmer, I'm assuming, pulled the other one. I didn't have boots to fit him, and it took me a couple of days to find used ones. At that point, his feet had chipped away at the sides, totally normal. Where the nails were, totally normal, because it's very weak hoof and it's getting active wear. They were already chipping with the shoes on. The previous owner had him for about 3 years. He's 10. These poor animals just get shoved around, don't they? Hopefully he's found his home now. He came with very short, stubby feet, she said, and he had 2 totally different shoes on. Oh, God. They pulled the shoes and he went lame. Vet came and said he had an abscess and his soles were able to be flexed with finger pressure. X-rays were taken and her diagnosis was thin soles. Now, remember this. X-rays were taken and her diagnosis was thin soles. Just remember that. Park that for a minute in your mind. This is the vet. Said that. He has been sound since putting the shoes back on. Although they haven't rid him in a couple of years now, he has been sound in the pasture. I'll attach his x-rays from 2 years ago. But several people have said that he has rotation. Who are those people? My vet is coming on the October the 15th to do new x-rays. Good. Looking forward to seeing those. He lives outside 24/7 with 3 other horses. Excellent. We just recently put in a track. Excellent. It's not completely done yet, but they are out on it daily. Very good. Yeah. I put them on pasture at night. However, I'm in Ontario and there isn't much grass left. Okay. They like to go out and pick around. All right. They have a netted round bale and they get half a bale second cut at AM and PM just to give them a break from the nets. He gets 1 cup of VTM 20, AM and PM and a scoop of kelp. Okay. That he probably doesn't need. This, where you say they've got a netted round bale, you need to, you want to stop them from just camping out. If you're telling me they've got a round bale in there and they're just camping out around the bale, don't do that. Take that bale and divide it up every day and put it in tires or buckets or nets around your track. Don't don't have one bale in there that they all camp out round. It's not good. He is currently wearing Cavallo Treks or Easy Boot Clouds. Now, if he's wearing those, please take the wedge out. Please take the wedge out that it comes with the wedge pad. Don't use it. Take it out. I take the boots off for a couple of hours a night. My farrier came a week after he lost his shoe and just rounded his feet a little and applied hoof armour. Right. So the person who took the rest of the shoe, boyfriend. See, BF can mean so many different things. Boyfriend. Right. Well done, boyfriend. I'm hoping I can get him barefoot. I know that it can take up to a year. My questions are, now here we go, right? Does it look like he has rotation? Well, we need to see the x-rays, but I can give you some comments on that when we look at the feet. If his soles, because we can't comment from the x-rays that were 2 years ago, because that can change in a heartbeat, right? They can change that in one trim pretty much. If his soles are still as thin on the new x-rays, what do? I have read thin soles can be genetic. Rubbish.
Poppycock.
It's not true. It's not true. It's humans do that. Just scrub out genetic and put I've read thin soles can be caused by humans. PPT. That's what you need to put in there. But I'm not sure that's true. Good for you, because it isn't. I think all his issues stem from improper foot care. Yes. With his original owner,
right.
not the girl I got him from. Any insights, guys, would be appreciated. Okay. So right, let's whiz through this. Oh, hello. Now I've got these in my canvas, so I'm going to whiz through the x-rays. But just to say very quickly, focus on these are the same size image. So focus on that. And then when I flick to the other one, this is his left four. Flick to the other one. Watch. Do you see how they change? Do you see how they change? Horse's feet shouldn't be like that. So that's number one, right? So this is what his foot looks like now. It's got a few rings. We've had a slight change here. The shoes are off, remember? So he's got some chipping around those quarters. Right. A little bit of advice, Kaylee. You need to take the nice and close, but you need to take the photographs on a flat surface that's clean, not on grass, because obviously we can't see the full foot, can we? So yeah, because we can't discern what's going on here. These feet need to be taken, pictures need to be retaken. When you do the x-rays, take the pictures again at the same position that the x-ray machine is set up at. The x-ray machine is set up to look straight across for a lateromedial. Get your camera in there, say, hang on a minute, can I just take a photograph, and get a picture of it, right? Because it'll be sat on a block. And then if they do any DPs or anything like that, same thing applies. I don't know whether he's had an abscess there or whether that's just a little. Doesn't that look at this? Look at the goop. Do you see? And the way the hair's been pushed to the side, I think he's had a little abscess there.
Looks like it.
And that would be, of course, right here where his nails were. Right. What we can see here, it's not a lot because it's dirty. So the next thing, Kaylee, is you've got to scrub it. Give it a good scrub. Give it a good scrub. I can see you look, see, you've got brush in your hand there. Give it a bloody good scrub. We've got bar material that's been allowed to stay, and you can't really see here because it's so mucky, but the heels are higher than the hard sole plane, which is a bit flaky, and the sole is being extra thinned. Still, these are the chippings from the old nail holes, and you can see that it goes up here and above the hard sole plane. Hence the reason why the bars are long. This bar's folded right over as this heel. It's gone up and into this heel, and that's not pleasant. That causes pressure in the foot, and they're jammed in there. You don't want that. So bars, they're a no-no. Okay, and if we look at this picture, you can see that hoof wall is above the sole here, but it's you can see something at the front, but you can also see lots of bar material because he's walking on this part of his bar. Not good. It's not pleasant. Doesn't feel nice. The heels are too long and those bars are too long, so all of this back of the foot is jacked up and jammed up. That ain't good, and that's not good for the bulbs in the frog either. Okay, I've copied these pictures. Now, can you see it goes sort of up like that? And you can see that you've got the heels going in a different orientation to the sole, really, because they are higher and they're underrun. So if the heels were back to where they needed to be, they would be back here, giving your horse much more surface area to walk on. Same thing with this side. So this is the right fore, exactly the same. But can you see how much hoof wall's been removed? So the person who was shoeing the foot has been doing the same thing. Probably, I don't know if it was the same person since the x-rays were done since 2 years have passed. But I can tell you that this person has been removing vital foot at the front. There he is. Hello. Is that you, Kaylee? Nice to see you. Isn't he lovely? He's a little bit chunky. All right. He's got a little bit of chunk going on. So that's going to be something that you need to think of, because once you start getting the feet right, you don't want extra inflammation. But I think you've already said you're on it, which is amazing, because you've got your you've got your track set up, which is brilliant. Here he goes. Now, this is a horse that is feeling sensitive. Ow. Short striding a bit. Oh, yeah, now going back. Considering the shoes only came off a while ago, we're progressing. All right, I'm going to stop sharing. And I'm going to go to my canvas. Have we got anything that people have got anything to say? Blah, 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 blah. Jenny says, I'm also on day 8 of the 15-day challenge. Oh, you must have signed up at the same time. It's excellent. Cannot wait to do the 10-day and hopefully get to attend a 3-day in Australia next year. Yes. Bookings coming out soon. Tomorrow, hopefully. So get on in there, first come, first served. Just added update of Penny, another success because of you wonderful people. Oh, have you? I might go in and have a look in a minute. Right, okay, so let's get into my Canva. What have I done with it? Right, here we go. Present arms. That's it. All right. So first of all, we're going to, can you see this, Garry?
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the foot to start with. So this was 2 years ago. Now remember, right forefoot. Now remember, when they looked at this, they said the horse had thin soles and that he needed to be shod because of it. Look what was going on here. You see this not got a full complement of his toe wall here. Can you see that? It's not actually, he's got a ton of separation. There isn't a ton of separation. He's got this shape to his P3. Now this, horses can have inherited shapes and different shapes to their P3. Equally, we can influence the shape of P3 by the way that we trim. I'm of the opinion, and it's really rather irrelevant, but I'm of the opinion that this is probably more to do with his makeup rather than to do with the trimming. But you can see at the end, he starts to just tip up just here. That P3 just starts to tip up. Do you think what he's got here is just genetically, naturally thin soles before I start drawing all over it? What do you think? What do you think, Garry?
Sorry, say that again. I was reading.
I said, do you think he's got naturally thin soles or genetically thin soles?
No.
Or not?
No, those thin soles, particularly towards the tip of P3, is man-made.
Why
Because
are we
they've
supposed to see this,
got
Garry?
nothing to balance to.
Shall I show you? Shall I show you what we mean? Which was missed entirely. Also, incidentally, look at the angle of this dorsal wall and the angle of that one. These are a pair. Not so much for him. Right. Let's
Hoof care
just
was consistent then on both sides of the horse.
or not.
I'm being facetious, sorry.
Yes. So the heel is a little high. So where the heel needs to go back to is around about there. Oh, hello. Canva's not that sensitive. There we go. Let's just match these up. Now, bearing in mind that you would have, there you go. You wouldn't have that completely at a point, obviously, because you would have a little bit of a Mustang roll in there. There is your problem.
There's not enough foot at the front.
There's
Because it's
just
been removed.
not enough foot at the front. There we go. That's more like it. There's not enough foot at the front. Now, I could take my little pen here and I could draw that in for you or colour that in. All of this. You try doing this with a trackpad.
I'm very impressed.
All of this has been removed. There you go. That would have been his foot. And he would have had plenty of sole. But rather than recognise that, the vet involved who saw these x-rays, and I'm not saying this is the actual party line of the practice, but the person who saw the x-rays looked at that and thought that was correct. It was a correct foot, that he just was naturally thin-soled. That wasn't his correct foot. That's the correct foot, which if you looks a little bit more now like the other one. Doesn't it?
Yep.
Now look at that. Look, you could hardly tell the difference, could you? Because the other one hasn't got such a high heel. However, it still has had its toe removed. So there we go. That's what his foot should have looked like. Let's go along over to this one. Let's do the same with this one. So up we go. She asked about separation too. So I'm going to just bring that down a little bit more of a distorted hoof here. Okay, so this isn't so bad. That's the way. Up you come. It's not quite as much been removed off this one, but it's still there. And then let's just colour it in. What's been removed? There you go. And it's vital. It's basically the toe pillar has been removed. It's such a problem for these horses. It really, really is such a problem. Let's just get that more lined up. Look at those 2 feet, Garry. It's like I just made it up. Look at that.
But isn't hoof care, natural hoof care is so simple.
And feet are nothing but consistent. I mean, they look like they're the same foot now.
Everything is predictable. But I have to say, that predictability, how do I put it? How come humans can predictably get it wrong so often? It's It's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Personally, I can't see the point of them doing x-rays if they're not actually going to understand what they're looking at. Can you?
No, I can't.
And what was the other thing I was going to say to you about this? Because I had to look at that when I did it. I was going, have I absolutely made sure that I have got the opposite? The different, yeah, but I have. But look how almost identical they are. Oh, yes, that's right. The other thing she wanted to know is you got rotation. Not in these images, although P3 is a little high.
Yeah.
Sorry, the heels
heels
are a
are
little high. There is a, well, I say he hasn't got it. He has got it. It's a very tiny amount. You can see it's just got, and there's this confusion down here from just completely removing the toe. And again, you're looking at this distance here. It's a little bit, but it's being damaged down here. They're getting damaged. Now, this is all because the heels are being left not to the hard sole plane, so they're not being trimmed to the hard sole plane, and they still aren't. They're not, the hoof care professional's taking off the toe, thinning this area here because he's now not got a balance point, but he's still having a go. So what you have to do, Kaylee, is you have to get somebody who just trims the back of the foot for a while and damn well leaves that toe alone, right? And if we go and have a look at this, you can see how much this toe wall is being removed here. It's overly thinned. And then you can see if I take that. Oh, no, I don't want that. Stop it, Lindsay. Let me just ungroup that for a moment. Sort of a little Canva lesson. There we go. There you go. There's your answer right there. Now, has he got rotation at this moment in time? Well, what he has got is not the right amount of foot, I can tell you that. And that's how it gets distorted, just like that. Simple, but very, very obvious. Now I've turned this one around so you can see it. You can see it from the side. Bless you for trying to get as best photographs as you can. Can you see that you've got tighter hoof wall here, and then as you come down, this is what happens. So we've got P3 in there, which is trying to reconnect, but it's having trouble because of the heels. All right? It's having trouble because of the heels. Because this one is slightly higher on this side. Too much here, not enough here. Happens all the time. Right. I'll just stop sharing that now. Why can't they see it? The horse hasn't got naturally thin soles. Go on.
I've got a couple of pictures that I've been dying to show. It's on a similar vein, loosely, perhaps. We were talking about that all-important pillar of support at the toe, yeah?
Yeah.
And the horse decides where that is.
Yeah.
And it is
and
usually
it's
just
covering up P3, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. So I've got this. I've got these two images of this shod horse, and these shoes were only put on 3 weeks previous. Okay. And this I want to is really just to highlight how much that horse or the horses need that pillar of support at the front of the foot. So let me just...
Let's have it.
Let's bring it up. Lindsay says, what's he talking about? What's he going to show?
Oh, I don't know. I'm quite excited. So about my sniffy cold. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, yes. Gosh, yes. Look at that.
So let me bring that forward a bit. So this horse had these shoes put on 3 weeks previous. Where is his natural pillar of support?
This'll fox him.
Where is his natural pillar of support?
Don't tell him. Right, but while
And
we wait.
Hold on, this is the other one.
Oh, go on.
We have the pear. So where is his natural pillar of support? Right, I'll come back to that. So we can go through some of the posts and we'll come back to that at the end, shall we?
Yeah. Okay. So, la 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 la. Carol Colbert's here. Hello. Morning from Canberra. How lovely to see you, Carol. Or have you here? So lovely to see you here because it's been a while. Do you remember Carol? You don't, do you, Garry?
No.
I do. Carol
I'm
was
sorry, Carol.
Carol was on the front of issue 28. And the reason I know that is because issue 28 is right in front of me. To do with Arabian. I hope I've got the right person. God, I really hope I have. Because she was winning with her Arabs in Arabian Race and Barefoot.
I remember.
Do you remember, Carol?
I do. Yes.
Good to see you. Melanie says, my laminitic mare was diagnosed about 7 years ago. They said it was something we just had to live with and it would get worse. I made adjustments. No grass, bare paddock and hay only.
Brilliant.
But I never thought it was the shoeing making it worse. She kept rotating. You don't, because in your mind, you're like, how can that possibly be? These are professionals. That's never going to happen. Don't be ridiculous. Oh, yeah. So glad I found this group and no longer have to live with it. She's happier now more than ever. Oh, you deserve a big one of those. Brilliant. Well done, young lady. You have done so. Oh, I like that. You have done so well. And I think I still have a message from you I haven't replied to. I'll have to go scroll down to the ends of the earth to see if you're still there. Becky says, I love how you draw those up. You can see how much of it is missing. I know, right? Why can't they see it? Our spring grass has come through properly. Raven is getting footsie along with Greasy Heel, a bit bloated. Her trim is good. Checked it 3 times over. And she was flying on her Phoenix Way trim. Her urine is bright yellow again, and I'm realizing this is how she ended up in shoes the first time. I now suspect she's been subclinically laminitic her whole life. Need to track her ASAP. It's not just her. All of them. All of them. Their tolerance levels are slightly different, but they all get affected by it. That spring grass is laden with sugar, which is it's quick sugar, quick spiking those insulin levels or spiking those blood sugar levels because it's being digested fast in the small intestine, and there's so much of it going in, it hyperferments in the hind gut, but not because it's full of fiber, because it isn't. And that causes the hind gut to go into disarray and the wrong kind of bacteria to be there flourishing, the fiber breaking down bacteria, the good ones that we want, they start to die off. And then you start, and horses go through this every year, and then you start to get this horrible gut dysbiosis going on because everything is not working as it should. The good bacteria that we need or the horse needs are dying off, and the bad bacteria are flourishing, and it's just what happens because they just need that fiber. So it's tricky, and you're in a much better place than you were. There's some tricky conversations to be had there, I think. Bethan says, and so the horror continues, right? Absolutely. The quarters, says Aston. What did I ask for? Was that you? No. Where the front of the shoes are worn, huh? Do you want to put your pictures back up? Because they're answering that now. Hello, says Catherine Brown, Charlie Brown. Hello, hello. Carol says, Garry helped me with Ellie, who had been lame after every trim, left fore damaged with osteonecrosis. Oh, so you're not the same person. I just said that you're not the same person. I do apologise.
That makes me even worse. I've helped you and I still can't remember.
Damn it.
I'm rubbish.
There's another Carol Colbert out there. Melanie says, yes, I'm still here. Whenever you get a chance, would be fantastic. I will. All right, let's put those images back up and then you can chat about them.
Okay. So, like Jeanette said, right here, can you see my cursor, Linz?
I can.
Right here is where that horse had its pillar of support where it's needed. But because the metal is not organic and dynamic, it's worn away. So where are the active wear points now on this particular foot? Oh, that will be there. Oh, and hold on, that will be there. So as soon as that horse has started wearing that shoe, that active wear point that horse is trying desperately to hit the ground can't. But then we look at the other front foot. His active wear point is just here, but now it's just here and just here, which is completely different to the other front foot.
Absolutely.
That's
very clear, isn't it, on there?
How can people
And
not see this?
Is he just slightly toed out, this horse? Rather than
very slightly.
Slightly toed out. Yeah.
And she was told, that's why your horse can't go barefoot, because it's going to wear its foot away. He's got lovely feet. Because his feet are organic and dynamic.
But the problem that you now have is this horse, every single time he goes through his shoeing cycle, his feet are being unbalanced all the time. Getting worse.
Yeah, it's getting worse
and worse and worse and worse for him, because as he wears away that part of the foot, the shoe, because that's an active wear spot for him.
Yeah.
As that wears away, the other side of the shoe starts to become more active.
Yeah.
And then that completely turns everything on its head. And that doesn't feel pleasant for that horse.
I'd actually like to see if we had a side. I haven't got any more pictures, but the thickness of this side of the metal
is way thinner.
Is way thinner than this side. So how can that be balanced?
Well, it's not now, because but that's the problem with shoes. That every time a horse, a horse will never remain balanced in a shoe. Never.
Because it wears, and it never
wears, and it doesn't. And it doesn't wear evenly. No shoe ever does. And the moment that it starts wearing unevenly, it makes it more uneven and more until it really exacerbates the issue. And they misinterpret this wearing of the shoe as being, oh, well, he's going to wear his foot off. No, silly. What he's going to do is replace more foot there, so he'll never lose that part of his foot.
Yeah.
So you've got the shoes off now.
Oh, these are actually old pictures. These are old pictures. I've been trimming in barefoot for a little while. And it was Caroline that took the shoes off originally.
Well, great photos. Really
it was just that she was sharing. She said, oh, I came across these. I thought you'd find them really interesting. I said, oh, send them to me.
Yeah, that's really good. Really, really good. Yeah. Yeah. Bethan says, my horse needs shoes because he wears the shoes to wafers.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right. Let me show you if I can find it very, very quickly towards the end. Let me just... I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it for you. I bet I can't. Oh, come on, Linz. Where is it? I bet I'm not going to be able to find it. Oh, I might if I... Hold on just one moment, please. Callers, Garry will chat to you while I look for this. Oh, here we go. I found
I
it!
knew you would. I knew if I started talking, you'd find it.
You didn't.
I know I didn't. That's why I wasn't going to bother.
Okay, so this horse, this is what he used to do in 6 weeks. Where's it gone? Here we go. You see this?
Yeah.
Do you see? So razor thin, new. These were what his shoes looked like when he had them put on every 6 weeks. And that is what his shoes ended up like. Look at the darn difference. Can you see? And can you see how it's not even? It's thicker over here and way thinner over here. But this would have been hitting the ground, not this side, as he starts to unbalance. And this is because, and he had a shoulder. I think it was shoulder. He had intermittent random lameness, and she was told he could never cope going barefoot because he was because he wore his shoes so thin. In 6 weeks, he would absolutely wear his foot off. That is what she was told. And for a little while, she believed it until eventually she just went, well, I've got nothing to lose because he just, he's just not right. And incidentally, he got like this because they used to do a lot of riding together, a lot of riding. I mean, lots of Ks. That's why his shoes wore down like this. So there were lots and lots of Ks riding. And yeah, that was him. And then she took his shoes off, the lameness went away, and he got better. Hang on a minute. I know where he is if I find him for you in a minute. Where are you? Hold on, I'm just looking at the front covers of my magazine. Issue 19. Wait a minute. Let me find issue 19 for you. And I'll show you a picture. He's called Lazaire.
I remember that.
Lazaire, you remember him?
Yeah.
Cover. This was the front cover. It was one of our most. She had it. Her husband. They lived in the States. Her husband had it printed, and on a great big, and had it framed, and gave it to her for Christmas or a birthday. I can't remember. This was them. That great picture. That was him.
Isn't it? And she was a lovely lady. We did an interview with her as well, didn't we?
We did. What a pin-up. Look, no bit. Absolutely lovely. We did an interview with her. So that was on issue 19. Isn't that lovely? And she did this really great article as well. Really, really, really good article in that magazine about how you follow what other people tell you and you're not following what the horse is showing you. And so or what the horse is able to do. And so eventually she said, I've got nothing to lose. I'm going to do it. And yeah, he was incredible. Let me see if I can. Dawn Champion, she was called. Let me get you another. This is she won't mind me showing you these photos. This is him. This is him. Beth. Oh, I don't know yet. Wait a minute. Where are you? There he is, and he's in hoof boots. He's got scoots on. Look at him go. Isn't that one beautiful horse? This is the horse they told her he would wear his shoes off. Sorry, his feet off, because he was wearing his shoes so thin. Let's give you, if you've got another picture of him. That's another one of her. That's that one. Oh, you love this. This is Pin-Up Lazaire. Here he is.
He was a handsome chap, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah. There he goes. That beautiful, isn't it? He's in a taking him into an area obviously where there's a lot of graffiti and it's just so colourful and he's so lovely and fit. Now fit as a fiddle. And she became a seller for scoot boots, I think, in the States, one of the early times. And I mean, she did tough work, right? She really did. Her and him did a lot of riding together all the time. Still do, as far as I know. There's some more pictures of him. I'm just going on a Dawn Champion and Lasserre run now. Isn't that lovely? That's so nice. Right, let me just see if I can find one more for you. Where his feet were at. Yeah, here you go. You'll love this. This was how they were showing him. And then she went on to try and trim herself. Okay.
Bloody hell.
Is there any wonder he had problems? Any wonder? Crazy, isn't it?
That's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And this is what we're up against, peeps. It is what we're up against. And when they x-ray them and then they see I'm going to give you one more photograph because it is just delightful. That one pretty boy.
Very nice.
A beautiful horse. That's Lasserre, Dawn Champion, who used to wear his shoes razor thin in 6 weeks. And they said he'll wear his feet off. Funnily enough, Garry, he didn't.
Funny that, isn't it? They never do.
No. Let's very, very quickly finish with the comments. Bethan says, hooves grow. Give the growth a chance to catch up with the wear. 100%. 100%. Aston says, yes, seeing certain things flaring up in the whole herd. You will. Can't believe the general public brush these things off as being unrelated to diet and simply an issue that horses have and then shoe to fix the issue. Where's the logic? And if you shoe, you won't pick it up as quickly.
No, because it hides the fact that they're lame.
Yeah, so you don't see the footiness.
We call that pseudo sound.
We call that pseudo sound. I remember that article in the Barefoot Mother. I'm sure it's the same one. Yeah, it's the same. Bethan says, when horses first come here, a lot of the hoof wall breaks away because it's poor hoof qualities. They've usually been managed incorrectly and usually shod, not always shod though. They are sore in the beginning and we have to use boots. One I have here right now with boots on all 4 feet. Many owners panic, and this is when most people would say barefoot doesn't work for their horse. Absolutely. Yeah. Let me tell you, they all recover given time and the correct diet and trim. People just don't give them time.
That's true. Very
Brilliant
true.
Comment. And it's different for different horses. Depends on crap their feet are. Depends what they've had wrong with them. Depends how systemically bad. Yeah. Bloody nubs. Show us the bloody nubs. Show us those bleeding nubs where it's all been worn away on Facebook. Never see it. Aston says, gorgeous pick, inspirational. All right, folks. Oh, gosh, we've been on for over an hour and a half. Right, it's time to fly. It's time to go. Hopefully, we'll see you tomorrow night. Still up for that, Garry? Tomorrow night as well?
Yes, tomorrow night should be good. I won't be as late tomorrow night.
Hey. Becky, and Vanya, and if there are any other admins in the group, could you please comment on the people that we've spoken about tonight, and just tell them that we spoke about them on the live? That would be really helpful. All right then, folks, see you soon. See you tomorrow. Have a lovely day or evening or whatever it is you're doing. Stay safe. All right. And
Take
to
care.
all our lovely followers in Florida, stay safe. We're thinking about you. We're following the news. Stay safe, my lovelies, my Phoenix warriors. We're thinking about you. Okay. Bye-bye.
See ya. Take care.